Hey Taurus, I just sat down with my deck and the energy coming through right now is absolutely unsettling. I need to share what I'm seeing because this involves something serious that's developing around you, and honestly, this reading gave me actual chills. So the cards are telling me someone has their eyes on you and not in a good way. There's this lurking energy that's been following your movements, and I know that sounds dramatic, but the deck is being very specific about this. Let me walk you through what came up because you need to understand the full picture of what's happening in your energy field right now. The first card that jumped out is the Knight of Swords, and this card shows up when there's someone moving fast with intentions that aren't pure. This isn't just casual observation, Taurus. The Knight of Swords represents someone who's been watching you systematically, and they're gathering information about your life. They know your patterns and your routines, and they've been studying you more closely than you realize. This person moves with purpose and speed, and right now their focus is entirely on you. The energy here feels calculated, like someone who's been planning something and waiting for the right moment. I'm getting this uncomfortable feeling that this person knows things about you that they shouldn't know, and they've been piecing together details about your daily life. What makes this even more concerning is that this isn't random. The Knight of Swords energy shows someone who's deliberate in their actions. They're not just passively aware of you, but they're actively seeking out information and keeping tabs on your movements. This could be someone checking your social media obsessively, or someone who knows your schedule better than they should, or even someone who's been asking mutual acquaintances about you. The sword energy is sharp and cutting, and it suggests this person has something they're preparing to do with all this information they've been collecting. Now, the Seven of Cups comes next, and this is where things get really twisted because this card is about illusions and deception. Whoever is following you isn't showing their true face. They're presenting themselves as something they're not. And Taurus, you might actually know this person without realizing their real intentions toward you. The Seven of Cups shows multiple faces and false scenarios. This person could be acting friendly to your face while harboring completely different feelings behind the scenes. They might be someone in your circle who smiles at you regularly, but internally they're consumed with envy or resentment or some kind of fixation that isn't healthy. The deceptive quality of this card makes me think this person has been living a double life when it comes to you. In public or in your interactions, they play a certain role, but privately, they're obsessing over aspects of your life. The Seven of Cups also indicates fantasy and delusion, so this person might have built up an entire narrative in their head about you that has nothing to do with reality. They could be jealous of something you have, or they might have developed an unhealthy attachment, or they could be harboring resentment over something they perceive you did to them. Whatever it is, they're not being honest about their true feelings, and that makes them dangerous because you can't defend against a threat you don't even know exists. Then Judgment shows up, and this is actually significant because Judgment is about truth being revealed and consequences coming to light. The universe is giving you this warning right now because something is about to surface. Whatever this person has been doing in the shadows is going to be exposed, and when it comes out, it's going to shock you. Judgment doesn't show up for small revelations, Taurus. This card appears when there's a major truth bomb about to drop, and when you find out who's been lurking around your energy and what they've been planning, you're going to see them in a completely different light. The Judgment card also carries an energy of karmic justice. This person thinks they're being clever and staying hidden, but the universe has a way of bringing everything into the open. What they don't realize is that their actions are being recorded in the energetic field, and there will be consequences for this invasion of your space and energy. The truth will come out in a way that's undeniable, and when it does, there's going to be a reckoning. You'll finally understand why you might have felt uneasy around certain people, or why you've had this nagging feeling that something wasn't right. The Nine of Cups appears next, and at first this seems like a positive card because it's traditionally about wishes fulfilled and emotional satisfaction. But in this context, it's showing me something darker. This person watching you sees you as having something they want. The Nine of Cups represents their envy of your contentment or your achievements or your relationships. They look at your life and they see you as having reached a level of happiness or success that they desperately crave for themselves. This isn't admiration, Taurus. This is corrosive jealousy that's been eating away at them. What makes this particularly troubling is that the Nine of Cups energy suggests this person believes they deserve what you have. They've convinced themselves that somehow you don't merit your own blessings, or that you got lucky while they got cheated by life. This twisted thinking is what's driving their behavior. They're not just casually envious, but they're actively resentful, and that resentment has been building into something more actionable. When someone reaches this level of jealousy, they can become unpredictable because they're operating from a place of perceived injustice, and that makes them feel justified in whatever they're planning. Now, the Six of Wands comes through, and this is interesting because it represents your victories and public recognition. Whatever you've achieved recently or whatever success you've been experiencing has not gone unnoticed. The Six of Wands shows triumph and acknowledgement, but it's also attracted the wrong kind of attention. Your wins have made you visible, and someone doesn't like seeing you celebrated. This person watching you is triggered by your accomplishments, and every time you succeed or receive recognition, it intensifies their obsession with you. The energy of the Six of Wands also suggests that this situation involves your reputation or your public image. This person might be looking for ways to damage how others see you, or they could be spreading information about you that isn't true. They want to knock you down from the position you've earned because seeing you elevated bothers them on a deep level. Your success is a mirror reflecting back their own feelings of inadequacy, and instead of dealing with those feelings, they've externalized them and made you the target. The Hanged Man comes next, and this card is showing me that you're in a suspended state right now. You might sense that something is off, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is. The Hanged Man represents that feeling of being stuck or uncertain about a situation. You've probably noticed small things that don't add up, or you've had moments where you felt like you were being watched or discussed, but you've been dismissing these feelings as paranoia. The cards are telling you to trust those instincts, Taurus. That uncomfortable sensation you've been having isn't in your head. The Hanged Man also suggests that you're going to need to shift your perspective to see this situation clearly. What you've been viewing as normal interactions or innocent coincidences needs to be looked at from a different angle. Someone you see as harmless or even friendly might be the very person who's been operating against you. The Hanged Man asks you to pause and reconsider your surroundings and the people in your orbit, because everything isn't as it appears to be. Then the Nine of Pentacles appears, and this card is reinforcing the message about your independence and self-sufficiency being a trigger point. The Nine of Pentacles shows someone who's built something valuable for themselves through their own efforts. You've created a life that you're proud of, and you've done it through hard work and discipline. But this very independence is what's bothering the person who's watching you. They can't stand that you don't need anyone or that you've achieved things on your own terms. The Nine of Pentacles also represents material comfort and security. This person is fixated on what you have, whether that's financial stability or a nice home or quality possessions or a lifestyle that reflects your success. Their focus on your material reality shows that their envy is very tangible and grounded in concrete things they can see and measure. They've been comparing their life to yours, and they've decided that you have more than you deserve, and this belief is fueling whatever plans they're making. The Five of Swords comes through next, and this is where the energy turns overtly hostile, because the Five of Swords is about conflict and defeat, and someone winning at another person's expense. This card shows that the person watching you is preparing some kind of confrontation, or they're planning to undermine you in a way that benefits them. The Five of Swords is ruthless energy. It's about someone who's willing to fight dirty to get what they want, and they don't care who gets hurt in the process. What concerns me about this card is that it shows someone who's already decided they're at war with you, even though you don't know you're in a battle. The Five of Swords represents underhanded tactics and a willingness to betray or deceive to gain advantage. This person might be planning to expose something about you, or spread rumors, or take credit for your work, or sabotage an opportunity that's coming your way. They see this as justified payback for whatever imagined slight or advantage they believe you have over them. The energy here is vindictive and small-minded, and it's building towards some kind of action that's meant to hurt you or diminish you. Finally, the Seven of Swords appears, and honestly, Taurus, this card confirms everything I've been feeling throughout this reading. The Seven of Swords is the card of deception and theft, and sneaking around. This person who's been watching you is planning to take something from you, or they're already in the process of stealing from you in some way. This doesn't necessarily mean physical theft, although it could. The Seven of Swords can represent stolen ideas or plagiarized work, or someone taking credit for your contributions, or even someone trying to steal your energy or your peace of mind or your relationships. The figure in the Seven of Swords is always shown sneaking away with swords they've taken and looking back over their shoulder to make sure they're not caught. This is exactly the energy surrounding this person. They're moving in stealth mode, and they think they're getting away with whatever they're doing. They believe they're clever enough to avoid detection and consequences, but the cards have already revealed them. The Seven of Swords also warns that this person is still active in their scheming. Whatever they're planning isn't finished yet. They're still in motion and still plotting, and that means you have time to protect yourself before they execute whatever their endgame is. So let me bring all of this together for you, Taurus, because this reading is serious and you need to understand the full scope of what's happening. Someone in your sphere has been watching you closely and obsessively. They're consumed with envy over your success and your independence and the life you've built. They're not being honest about their true feelings toward you, and they're actively gathering information and waiting for an opportunity to undermine you or take something from you. This person believes they're operating invisibly, but the universe has pulled back the curtain and exposed their energy to you through these cards. The truth about who this person is and what they've been doing is going to come to light soon, and when it does, you're going to be shocked by the depth of their deception. You might already have a nagging feeling about someone, or you might have dismissed certain red flags because you wanted to think the best of people. The cards are telling you to pay attention to those instincts now. Notice who asks too many questions about your life. Notice who seems to always know details about you that you didn't share with them directly. Notice who can't seem to genuinely celebrate your wins, or who makes backhanded comments disguised as compliments. This is also a call to tighten your circle and be more protective of your energy and your information. Not everyone who smiles at you wishes you well, and not everyone who acts interested in your life has good intentions. Start being more discerning about what you share and with whom. Watch who you trust with details about your plans or your vulnerabilities. Create stronger boundaries around your personal space and your private life. The universe is giving you this warning so you can fortify yourself before this person makes their move. Remember that the Judgment card promises that truth will prevail and justice will be served. This person will be exposed and they will face consequences for their actions. Your job right now is to stay alert and protect yourself and trust your intuition when it tells you something feels wrong. Don't dismiss those feelings as paranoia because your inner guidance system is picking up on real threats in your environment. Stay vigilant, Taurus. Pay attention to the energy around you. Notice who's watching you a little too closely or who's asking questions that feel intrusive. Trust that the universe has your back and that this warning is coming to you now because you're meant to see this situation clearly before it escalates. The shadows are about to be illuminated, and when that happens, you'll know exactly who's been lurking in your energy and what they've been planning. Protect yourself and stay aware because something is definitely unfolding around you that requires your full attention.